I was born in Buffalo, New York, about 77 years ago. And then came back to Canada when I was about 2.5. So really, I'm Canadian. I'm actually 5th generation Canadian, just for that little bit of blurb over in the States. You know.
Where did your parents grow up?
My parents are Canadian. My dad, where was he born? London, Ontario. My mother was born in Seaforth, which is a little place down near Stratford. And actually, she's 4th generation Canadian, I think. And my dad is, I think he's about 3rd generation Canadian. From England, both from England, of course. I think where everybody came from at one point. Then came back to Toronto, I guess.
Where did you go to high school?
Western Commerce, actually. Yeah.
And then did you go on after that?
Then I took music, and I took some courses in music and studied music for about 5 years. And voice. Yeah, it's interesting.
What drew you to that?
I think there's always been music in my family. My mother played piano, my dad sang. And I think I've always been in love with music since the minute go. Only where my dad would sing with the dance band and my mother played for that kind of entertainment, I gravitated towards opera, voice. And that's what I sort of settled in on. Everybody roller skated on the street, so we had races around the block. And then in the evenings, as people sat on the veranda, we kids would play hide and seek or Red Rover. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed sports a lot. I was involved in a fair amount of sports. I guess just the outdoors. Riding. What I didn't like? I don't know. I don't think there's too much I didn't like, other than just being a kid. You know, you're not an adult, you're not a kid, and where are you in this world, sort of thing. And no, I had a very happy childhood, actually. Basically, I think I was a rotten child, but to my parents. But you know, we had a good life, really. I had a very liberal parents, and we could do just about anything we wanted, within certain parameters, of course. You know, if we could voice our opinion on things. I think I was a very liberated woman or child. I don't think that didn't come as any big surprise to me as because I've always been liberated. I don't think I had a hard time because I was female. I probably was harder on myself because I was a female. Being very much of a tomboy, I guess I felt I should have been a boy or a man, and then I could have done the things that the guys were doing. I didn't play with dolls. I sort of was sawing and hammering things with my dad. No, I don't think there's anything wrong because I was a woman that I was held back. Personally, I think just society in general does, though. We lived in Oakville for a long time, and then my husband retired, so we looked around for someplace else and looked all over Ontario, actually, for a nice small area to, get away from all the hurly-burly down there. So we found a place just south of Owen Sound, just outside of Williamsford, actually. So we have 46 acres there, and thoroughly enjoy it. Don't go back to Toronto very often, although I have family down there. They seem to want to come up here to the country. Mosaic. Well, after we moved up here, I still wanted to get in to do something other than just what we had around the property and that. So I got a job at a paper as a writer. And then that developed into a partnership that sort of went. And so with all the experience I had in the past with writing and a bit of newspaper work, I thought, well, maybe I should start something like that. And then I thought, well, what am I interested in? And when I was in Oakville, I always went into Toronto to see the opera or the recitals or the concerts, the symphonies. And I missed that up here, but I thought there has to be something up here. So maybe that's what I could write about. So then thinking around about a name, we came up with the name Mosaic because, well, many things, many voices in it, making one sort of thing. And at the beginning it was very difficult because there really wasn't a lot going on here. That's almost 14 years ago. The first edition, I think, had 10 pages, newspaper and tabloid. And like, what were the Boy Scouts doing, or what were the women's groups doing? And little by little, it built up, and more things started happening up here. More people started moving up here in the arts, painters, musicians, and then as that grew, the paper sort of grew. And to the point today where there is so much happening up here in this Grey Bruce area that I could probably put a 50-page edition out. There's so many exciting things happening. There's so much talent up here, a lot of talent. People don't have to go to Toronto. They don't have to go to New York. They don't have to go to London or Ottawa. Everything is right here. I think the whole idea behind Mosaic is to get the information out about what is happening in the whole arts cultural field in Grey Bruce. Coming from a relatively artistic family, actually my grandfather was an artist. I think he died a pauper actually. And my parents were in the musical field but didn't make a living at that. My brother is an artist. In fact, my sister won the Governor General's Award at the Ontario College of Art. It's hard to make a living at any of this, and I know that firsthand. So people need a help, and if I can help them in any small way by just letting people know what's happening, that's just what I feel I have to do, regardless of how many hours I put in or the inconvenience of not having enough resources. The information has to get out there. This is what I'm supposed to do in life. I think everything maybe that I've been learning and worked towards is maybe this is what I'm supposed to do too. Just to get the message out, for lack of a better word, of the message, just to tell people about what is going on in the arts. Without the arts, you have nothing actually in life. So no, I don't plan on retiring. Some days I feel like I'm 105 and I really should retire, whatever that word means, or just stop doing the paper. But I take a couple of months off around Christmas time, and by the end of that time, I'm just chaffing at the bit to get back in. It's a necessary part of life. It's okay to, and I was in sports a lot, and it's okay to be very physically active, but the mind is very active too. It's very important. The mind and the body have to work in tandem. I think water.
What's your least favorite word?
Ah, vomit. Gee, many things. Gorgeous sunset, sunrise, a gorgeous singing voice, Tchaikovsky's symphony, creativity in general. I just think life in general. Life, period.
What turns you off?
Oh, I guess meanness, lying, war, of course, big things, selfishness, self-centeredness, I guess. When I was growing up, I wanted to be I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be solo around the world. Like Amelia Earhart was my my idol. But of course, and then I couldn't be a pilot. So I thought, to be able to get up there, I'll be a stewardess. But at that time, to be a stewardess, you had to be a nurse. And of course, I can't handle anybody even saying they're going to be sick. I'm 10 miles down the road. So that was it, so, you know. Have you paid your visa? I don't know. We don't want any bad debts up here. I don't know. What would I like him to say?
Or her?
Or her. Enter stage right. Oh dear.